Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. There was a shooting at a restaurant called Louie's on the Lake in Oklahoma City, and there was three people injured. Two, a mom and her daughter were actually shot, and they were taken to the hospital. The mom was just grazed, her shoulder, I believe, but the daughter was actually shot in like the tail. It entered near the tailbone, and I think it got lodged into her stomach. So she was undergoing surgery. I think she's going to be okay at this point. They've identified those two that were shot. They haven't identified the shooter, who who was shot by an armed citizen. And according to reports, he went into the restaurant and just began opening firing. It's not clear if he targeted the mom and daughter. I don't believe he did, but I just don't know that. And I think witnesses reported 15 shots, something like that, fired inside the restaurant, and then he exited the building. And there's a guy here. I'm going to play his account of it, of what happened, afterwards, immediately afterwards. And he witnessed the armed citizen basically going into the trunk of his car, who had just happened to pull up as the person was exiting. I don't understand how that happened. And there might have been a second person that was armed as well, a citizen that engaged with the shooter and were screaming at him, "Put your gun down! Put your gun down!" And apparently he didn't put the gun down. Maybe made a move or something like that, and they engaged him, shot him, and put him down. Now this witness, I'll play his account. It's the best account by far. This dude right here, and he was in the restaurant, and he said he doesn't really. It happened so quickly. He heard the glass shatter. I think he heard some shots, and then he exited the building. And as he exited the building, he recognized the shooter. And just as the person was pulling up, who he thought was maybe like an off-duty police officer, he wasn't sure. Immediately went to his vehicle, the trunk of his vehicle, got his firearm out, and and he said he actually indicated, "There's the shooter. That's the dude right there." And he himself was in the process of getting down and getting behind the car. So, and he got down and got behind the car before when the shots went off that actually put the shooter down. So, um, here is the mother-daughter that were shot and were at the hospital in Oklahoma City. Her name is Natalie Will. Was grazed on the arm, and the 12-year-old granddaughter, Naya Giles, was shot near the tailbone and underwent surgery. The bullet was possibly stuck in the little girl's stomach. Thankfully, both are expected to survive. And actually, the Daily Mail has a shot of the shooter right there. And this is the police officers in the investigation. And this sidewalk right there, and obviously there's the shooter. That is, to the best of my knowledge, that is right there. Okay, like that's right here in front. This is the front of the restaurant. It's kind of a strange layout. I don't think this is the entrance, the front. I think you know, um, and that's where that shooter was put down right there in that area. So that's pretty much that's pretty much the whole story there. Let me play this witness account a bit because it really is. He kind of tells it better than anybody else that I saw anywhere, and probably wrap it up. Hold on.
We really didn't have a sense of exactly what direction it was or who was out there, if he was still out there. And so about the time I got outside, a vehicle pulled onto the parking lot, and a guy jumped out of it and went for the back of his vehicle. So I just assumed maybe it was an off-duty police officer or something like that. And I was making my way up the parking lot, and I spotted the guy with the gun. He was walking north up the sidewalk, and pointed him out to the guy who had the weapon, and then there was another guy who had one. And so there was kind of they were really screaming. They were like, "Stop, stop, stop, please put the gun down, please put the gun down." And I was pointing at him, and I was like, "Down, put it down, put it down." And then they wound up exchanging fire.
So I'm sorry. My name's Cassandra Swayman. I'm sorry. You saw the gentleman shoot the shooter.
I mean, I saw him. Yeah, I saw him.
Can you tell us, what did the shooter look like? What can you describe him for us?
He's just a 20-something-year-old kid. I don't know. Didn't look very old.
Did you see?
He was wearing ear protection and eye protection that you'd have from a shooting range. So obviously he intended to come here and shoot tonight.
How many shots were fired?
I don't. I don't know. I mean, of the ones inside, I don't know, because I really didn't pick up on it until after I heard the noise of a lot of glass. The glass shattered, and that made a lot of noise, and then followed by screams and a lot of people moving around. So it was kind of tough to tell. And once the shooting started in the parking lot, I don't know, maybe half dozen shots or something like that.
When you saw him, did it seem random, like he was shooting everywhere, or was he targeting people?
I don't know. I don't know. I was inside the building when it happened, and had a friend who was outside who had a little better view of it, but he's not here, and so I don't know. I don't know where he came from. I mean, from what I'm told, he was outside, kind of where the handicap spaces are, but adjacent to the front door there.
It's interesting you thought the person who shot him might have been an off-duty officer.
But it's just the way he moved. I mean, whoever it was who moved, he just appeared to be somebody who had some training, some weapon training.
Really right place.
He moved quickly. He moved quickly, and I mean, his vehicle came racing onto the parking lot. It was him, and I'm pretty sure there was another guy, and those two guys were able to stop him.
What was the vehicle associated with the suspect?
The suspect, I don't know. I don't know if he had a vehicle. I don't know if he was on foot, or I have no idea.
And you said that they were yelling at him before they shot him to drop his weapon.
They were drop the weapon. But as I said, he had shooting ear protection on, and eye protection, and I don't think he had any intention of dropping the weapon.
Can you describe his demeanor? Was he angry? Was he upset? Was he?
I got nothing. I mean, I was about halfway across the parking lot, and so I don't know. He was just kind of wandering back and forth. He was initially, when I first picked him up, he was walking as if nothing had happened, and so I pointed him out to one of the guys who came to render aid. I said, "He's right there. He's right there," and so they headed in that direction. And like I said, they were doing everything in their power. They were like, "Please put it down. Please put it down. Please put it down." And it appeared there was some movement, so I just got down behind the car that was in front of me, and there was some shooting. And when it stopped, I popped my head up, and they had taken him down. And about that time, a police officer was coming around the corner, so there was a lot of confusion for the police officer, just trying to figure out, who's who and what happened here. And so a friend and I just walked over and said, "No, these three guys." By that time, there was a third guy who had come and said, "No, these three guys were here to help," and just make sure the police were okay with that. But there was a lot of confusion at first.
And what?
All right, man. So I think when he's talking about, I think car pulls up here, shooter's walking on the sidewalk here, and, goes from there. It's pretty crazy. And that's the story there, man. All right, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.